Dump, dump, it was all a dream. Related to killers and dope fiends. Cousin was moving at 14. White things but no porcelain. How could they sleep on this poor thing? What I foreseen was a short thing.
The second month of the season has flown by and the Lakers continue to dominate the league, but who has impressed and who still needs to step it up? You're watching Lakers Report by Chat Sports, all things Lakers. What's up, Laker fam? I'm your host, Hannah Kulik, aka Laker Han. I hope you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving holiday. Now, us Laker fans really truly have a lot to be thankful for, especially when it comes to our Los Angeles Lakers, because boy oh boy have they really been impressive so far to start this season. They have started the season 16-2. They are the #1 team in the entire NBA. For the month of November, they only lost one game. It was that game against Toronto at home. And honestly, they have looked like a very dominant team, truly the team to beat. So as the second month of the season comes to a close, I thought today would be the perfect day to hand out some November grades. Now let's just get right into it, starting with LeBron James. Now LeBron James gets an A++ from me. He was unbelievable this month, you guys. He completely dominated. There were many games where it was honestly just LeBron versus whatever other team we were playing. He completely took over in every ball game. He had 4 triple-doubles. He's pretty much averaging a triple-double on the season, and he is a huge reason, if not the main reason, why the Lakers have such an impressive record and have gotten off to such an incredible start. So far, LeBron has been completely dominant. But moving on to our second star, who has been equally as impressive in my opinion, Anthony Davis. I'm going to give Anthony Davis an A. Now, AD has looked really good this month, although he did kind of suffer from a couple of little nagging injuries. Still recovering from that shoulder injury, and then of course that rib injury that he kind of suffered, that little rib contusion during one of the games. So he has had to kind of rest a little bit and maybe hasn't been able to dominate as much as we all know he can, but still he has been very impressive this season. He's been averaging 26 points per game, 9 rebounds, and he had multiple games where he had 5 block shots this past month. Now, something else that I've really liked seeing this month from AD was his outside shot. He has been much more aggressive in terms of shooting the 3-ball and really kind of being a little bit more versatile in his shot selection. So I've really liked from what I've seen from AD. I think he's only going to continue to get better as his rib and his shoulder continue to heal throughout the season. But obviously, AD is well on his way to being MVP, potentially even Defensive Player of the Year, because on defense, AD has been completely dominant. Both LBJ and AD have completely delivered to full expectations so far this season, so I have no complaints on either of those players. They've been completely dominant, and they have really been the main reason why the Lakers have this 16-2 best record in the entire NBA. But some of the other players still do need to step up. So while AD and LeBron have been very impressive, I have been a little bit disappointed with a couple of the players, and one of those players in particular is Danny Green. Now, Danny Green, for the month of November, I'm going to be giving him a B-. Now, the reason I'm giving DG a B- is because he has just not been very consistent. There have been some games where he's able to contribute offensively, and then some games where he really doesn't do anything. And, you know, Danny Green is the 3rd highest paid player on this team. We brought him in to be that 3-and-D guy. While his defense has been good, I don't really have any complaints on his defense for the month of November. I think he was very good defensively. I do think that as the season progresses, I need to see him be more aggressive offensively and be able to knock down that 3-point shot at a more consistent rate. And I know a lot of Laker fans agree with me. On my Twitter, I always am asking you guys, which player do you want to step up? And a majority of you guys always say Danny Green. So I think we can all agree that while Danny has not been horrible, he still definitely has a lot of room for improvements, especially on that offensive end. So Danny Green is going to be getting a B- from me for the month of November. But moving on, let's grade Avery Bradley for the month of November. So Avery Bradley is going to be getting a B from me, and you know, defensively, he has been great. Honestly, I think he's even been better than advertised defensively. We all knew, you know, after training camp, all of the hype and rumblings about how much of a lockdown defender he was, but he truly has been such a lockdown defender, really been very helpful from the defensive end. One of the main reasons that the Lakers did have the #1 defense in the entire NBA. But something that Avery could still work on is his offensive game and being a little bit more consistent and more aggressive offensively. Now, it's unfortunate because he was starting to be more aggressive offensively before having to ultimately miss some time with this lower leg contusion. He has missed the last week or so with this injury, and we've seen the Lakers defense in particular really slip while he's been out. He was a huge part of our defense, especially in that starting lineup. So hopefully he will be able to be cleared soon. He is going to be reevaluated any day now, honestly. So hopefully he will be cleared to play because the Lakers need him, especially from their defense. And I honestly didn't think it was that serious of an injury. So hopefully he'll be back on the court soon because the Lakers definitely could use his help. But let's talk about his replacement, or his temporarily replacement in that starting lineup, KCP, because KCP, since being a starter, has really impressed you guys. I'm going to be giving KCP a B for the month of November. Honestly, maybe even a B plus, potentially. Don't call me crazy, but maybe even an A minus if we were just grading him since being in that starting lineup. KCP obviously got off to that terrible start this season. Truly horrific, honestly could not do anything right, but since being a starter, he has really stepped up and really been more consistent from three, really played hard and had a really big impact in honestly every game. There have been multiple games where he was the Lakers' third, fourth leading scorer. He's been able to contribute at least, 10 points per game since being inserted in that starting lineup. He's also been shooting 52% from three, which has obviously been a huge help for the Lakers. So KCP has really stepped up since being inserted in that starting lineup, which is leading a lot of people to think maybe even when Avery Bradley is healthy and returns, maybe Avery should be coming off the bench and KCP should still be in that starting lineup. I don't necessarily know if I agree with that, just because I think defensively the Lakers could really use Bradley's help on D, because that is something that they have been struggling with a little bit more as of late. But still, I'm kind of curious to get your guys' opinion. Do you think that KCP should just remain a starter when Avery Bradley returns? If you think he should continue to start, type Y for yes, or if not and he should come off the bench, type N for no. But let me know down below, because again, this is kind of something that I know a lot of people are talking about. KCP should continue maybe starting even when Avery Bradley returns. Now, before I crack the whip on some of these other Laker players and determine what grades they really deserve, I want to make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button down below and come join this Lakers Report family. We are growing so quickly. I'm so thankful and so grateful, but definitely make sure that you are subscribed so you do not miss a single second when it comes to our Los Angeles Lakers. And while you're at it, go ahead and give me a follow on my Instagram at Hannah Kulik and my Twitter at Hannah_Kulik. You can always DM me and ask me a Laker question. I always love to talk to my Laker fam. And even if you don't want to keep up with all things Lakers, I also love to post workout videos and fitness tricks on my Instagram as well. So definitely make sure to subscribe and give me a follow on my social media handles. But let's move on and let's talk about the final Lakers starter today. Now, the final Lakers starter we've got to grade is Javale McGee. Now, Javale, I'm giving a B minus. Again, I'm a little bit disappointed in him just because he's very inconsistent. There are some games where he looks really locked in. He's really contributing, really playing hard, especially defensively. We'll see him get some impressive blocks. Then he's really involved offensively as well. But then there are a lot of games where he has just really been struggling and kind of just putting in a lackluster effort, in my opinion, and not really having a big impact with this team. And honestly, we need JaVale to be able to kind of step up more, especially if he's going to be that starter for us. If he wants to continue being that starter for us, I just think he needs to be able to be more consistent and impact the game every game. Even if offensively everything's not working, there's a lot more that he can do defensively that I just don't think we have really seen him do on a consistent basis. But moving on and talking now about the Lakers bench players. Now, first off, we have to start with the first Laker bench player. Of course, you guys all know it's Kyle Kuzma. That guy is supposed to be sixth man for the Lakers, their third scoring option. So far, it has not really happened consistently, but Kuz's season so far has been somewhat of a roller coaster. So for the month of November, I'm going to be giving Kuz a B minus. Now I know that may seem a little bit harsh. A lot of these things that have to do with Kuz are out of his control, like the injuries, like kind of maybe not getting as many minutes as he'd like, not really getting a lot of the offense flowing through him because of course it's really focusing on Anthony Davis and LeBron James. But Kuz's season has really been rocky, very inconsistent. Obviously, when he first returned from his injury to start the season, took him a few games to really get the rust off and kind of get back into playing form. Then he was playing really well, and he was starting to be that Kuz that we were all expecting him to be, before then suffering from that pretty gnarly eye injury. He got hit in the face during that game. I think it was actually during that Toronto Raptors game at home, and he didn't return. His eye was extremely bloody. He had to come back the next game, of course, wear the goggles, but it kind of slowed him down a little bit, and he kind of took a little bit of a step back. Obviously, to be expected, it's kind of hard to play when you can't really see that well out of one of your eyes. But in the most recent win against the New Orleans Pelicans, Kuz was the main reason that the Lakers won. He was 4 for 4 from three-point range, and he was really a crucial key in that win. And honestly, a lot of people were crediting him purely for that win. So Kuz has still proved that he has all that potential, and he really could be the Lakers' third scoring option, and he can score the basket in a variety of ways. The biggest thing with him, of course, is him just kind of finding his niche and finding his role with this team, because of course all of the offense is really flowing through AD and LeBron. They are the two focal points, and sometimes I feel like Kuz is kind of getting left in the back burner. But truly, in my opinion, if the Lakers want to have a successful season, they want to be able to contend for a championship, they are going to need to find a way to be able to involve Kuz more, especially in their offense, because he is a huge role for this team, and the Lakers need someone else to be able to score the ball besides Anthony Davis and LeBron James, because we cannot only solely rely on those two guys every single night. And Kuz has proved that he can be that third guy and that third star for us. So hopefully as the season progresses, the Lakers are going to be able to find a way to kind of get him some more minutes and be able to kind of draw him some more plays and get him more involved, especially offensively. Now we still have a few more grades to hand out, and then of course we've got to give some Laker team grades and really talk about the Lakers defense, offense, and break that all down. But before we get into it, I want to make sure that you guys know that we are having a huge holiday sale right now on Chat Sports on all of our Lakers gear. So jerseys, we have t-shirts, we have sweatpants, we have hoodies, we have so many awesome Lakers gears, and we are having a huge Black Friday sale. So the links are all down below, so definitely make sure to check that out, because if you want to get a head start on your holiday shopping for your family, your friends, or even just buy yourself a Laker jersey, why the heck not? Self-love is very in right now. But we have all of the links down below, so definitely make sure to check it out because we've got some awesome deals going on. But let's move on and let's hand out a grade to a guy who has become a fast fan favorite, who a lot of people definitely were not expecting to have as big of a role with this team as he's really had, and had such a great contribution. So we have Dwight Howard. I am giving Dwight Howard for the month of November a B. Obviously, Dwight continues to impress. He continues to bring a lot of energy off the bench. He's really been having a big role with this team on and off the court. Apparently, he has gone from a guy who a lot of guys did not want to play with to now, honestly, the #1 team player. And this team is loving having him on this team. He's really provided a lot of energy, like I said, coming off the bench, a lot of energy from defense. He's been tremendous defensively, in my opinion, really been locked down defensively, but also on the season, you know, he is shooting 75% from the floor, so he's not maybe throwing up huge numbers, you know, he's not really scoring the ball that much, but he is being very efficient in the shots that he is taking, and when he is in the game, he is definitely leaving his mark. And like I said, he went from a guy who the fans would boo if he was ever in the game back, you know, when he was playing for other teams after a disastrous start with the Lakers a few years ago, to now being a fast fan favorite, and it is well deserved. I'm really loving from what I'm seeing from Dwight Howard, and he may not be filling up the stat sheet night in and night out, but trust me when I tell you, he is having a huge impact on every game. Now moving on to a guy who I have actually been very disappointed in, Quinn Cook. I'm going to be giving Quinn Cook a C for the month of November. You know, the Lakers signed him. They brought him on to be that knockdown three-point shooter. He's obviously shot the ball from three very well throughout his career, but so far he has just not been able to do it consistently at all, and he's really off to a rocky start with the Lakers. He's just not really been able to do anything. Anytime he's gotten some minutes, which haven't honestly been that many, but he hasn't been able to shoot the ball well. He's had a lot of sloppy turnovers and just played kind of sloppily just in general. And lately he's actually found himself out of the rotation. This is kind of leading a lot of people to believe, and a lot of analysts to believe, that the Lakers may be looking to actually part ways with him, trade him, or cut him in order to create some room to maybe sign a veteran like Andre Iguodala, maybe even Jamal Crawford. So Quinn Cook very well could be traded. So I am curious though, do you think that Quinn Cook is going to be traded, or do you think the Lakers are going to keep him? Comment down below and let me know what you think, because Quinn Cook definitely not giving the Lakers much of an argument to want to keep him around, that's for sure. Alright, now rounding out the final player I'm going to be handing out a grade for the month of November for the Lakers today, we have Alex Caruso. I know Alex Caruso is a very big fan favorite, and honestly, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Caruso, so I'm going to be giving him a B. Now, Caruso's a guy, he's a perfect example of a player who has a big contribution with the team and really does a lot for the team without necessarily filling out the stat sheet. Because if you're looking at Caruso after the games and you're looking at his stats, you're not thinking he had the greatest game. But if you are watching the game, you are seeing what an impact Caruso is really having. He's provided a lot of energy off the bench, especially defensively. He has really been one of the best Laker defenders. I know a lot of people are even saying potentially even the Lakers' second best defender behind Anthony Davis. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but he's definitely been a huge help from us defensively, provided us with a lot of energy. Now, as the season continues, I do want to see Caruso be a little bit more consistent and able to score the ball at a more high rate. We see him be a little bit aggressive offensively at some points, but I would like to see him do it on a night in, night out basis, because I think Caruso's a better shooter than he's really giving himself credit for. So I know when he's in the game, he's looking to kind of be that hustle guy, the guy who provides us a lot of energy and helps us defensively, but I think Caruso could also really help this team if he looks to score more. But so far, definitely been very impressed by what I have seen from Alex Caruso, and I know a lot of Laker fans are, so I am giving AC Fresh, or whatever his nickname is, I am going to be giving him a B. Now, let's move on. Now that we've given all of the Lakers grades, the players' individual grades, let's move on and let's talk some Lakers defense and some Lakers offense, and give them a grade in those two categories as a team. Starting with the Lakers defense, now I'm going to be giving the Lakers defense a B. Obviously, their D has been the biggest pleasant surprise of the season so far. They started off being the #1 team in the entire NBA. Since then, they have slipped a little bit. I think a big part of that is just due to the injury to Avery Bradley, but still, they are a very impressive defensive team and still one of the top defensive teams in the league, and I think they'll get back up to that #1 spot once Avery does return. Now, they still are the #1 team in fourth quarter points allowed, and that's really interesting because we have seen them be in that fourth quarter that lockdown defensive team, because a lot of times, and especially in these recent games, they've had to kind of fight and come back in order to win these games, and they've had to do so by locking down on their defense. So they have still a very dominant defensive team, although I still want to be able to kind of see them move forward and be a little bit more consistent from defense and be able to be that lockdown defensive team for an entire game, more so like what they were doing the middle early end of November. As of late, like I said, their defense has fallen off slightly, but still they are very, very impressive, very dominant from D, and in all these games that they have winning, the reason that they have this 16-2 record, #1 record in the entire NBA, is because of their defense. So hopefully once Avery Bradley returns, they'll be able to kind of tighten that right back up for an entire game, be able to get back up to that #1 spot where I think they ultimately are going to finish the season. But let's talk about the Lakers offense, because while the defense has slipped slightly, the offense has actually improved a little bit. So I'm going to be giving the Lakers offense a B for the month of November. Now, like I mentioned, they actually have improved a little bit. They are currently the 6th team in the NBA in offensive efficiency, so they've definitely gone up a little bit there, but still, there is a lot of room for improvements, and I know the Lakers players even feel the same. You know, they say every night, you know, we can still have a lot of things that we need to improve on, especially offensively. Now, the biggest thing with them, and the thing that I think a lot of fans have been a little bit frustrated with when the Lakers do have some problems offensively, is we do see a lot of times where the Lakers are going one-on-one. A lot of times that one-on-one is with AD or with LeBron James when those two players kind of try to take over. And obviously a majority of our offense is going to be flowing through those two guys. Those are our superstars, but still I want to be able to see us be able to get some of these other guys involved, like Kuz, like I mentioned, maybe even Dwight Howard, drop some more plays for him, for Kuz, of course. We need our entire team to be able to come together, and we can't just rely solely to run all of our offense through Anthony Davis and LeBron James, which is kind of a huge part of what I've seen so far. So I think in order to improve, the Lakers are going to have to get some more players involved, but I know that's just going to take time, just going to take chemistry, but of course a majority of our offense is going to flow with our two superstars in AD and LeBron James. We're just going to kind of have to learn as the season progresses to really balance it all with the rest of the team and really allow everyone to be able to make a contribution to allow this team to continue to flourish, because you guys, at the end of the day, even though we are handing out some grades, I am being a little bit harsh on some players. We really don't have that much to complain about. Lakers are off to an incredible start, a way better start than anyone could have ever assumed. Honestly, even in my wildest dreams, they have been completely dominant, #1 team in the NBA, and we definitely have a lot to be thankful for. We are just finishing up the 2nd month of the season. We still have a long time to go. It's a long season, but it is definitely going to be a very exciting one. So that is going to be it for the November grades. Comment down below and let me know if you agree with my grades or if you would change a few grades, and if so, what would they be? Let me know what your grades are for these Lakers players and for their defense and for their offense. Also, let me know what you've been most impressed with by this Lakers team just to start out the season. I know there's a lot, but definitely let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe here on Chat Sports. If you do like this video, give this video a double thumbs up. And until next time, Laker Han is out. Bye, guys.